What's up, YouTube? Hudson Fan 15, first of two videos today. Keep an eye out for the second one. You're going to want to watch that. Bunch of stuff to catch up on, so here goes. We went out on a little excursion this weekend. Ended up at a dart store. Actually, it's more pool stuff, but they had darts and ended up with a new set. Went up in weight and a different style altogether. Went with 26 gram hammerheads. So it's actually got a retractable tip there that once it hits, sort of sinks in and locks in place. I don't know if you can see now the difference in the length of that one. So they the idea is that when they hit a static object like another dart or the wire, mostly surrounding each number, that instead of bouncing out, they will simply kind of immediately deflect around, and so you're going to have less bounce outs, which it's actually worse than missing the number most of the time if you have a bounce out, because then the dart doesn't count whatsoever. So I had some extra longer spinner shafts versus the size I was using before. Went from the medium to the large, keeping my same flights for now, and so I'm trying to counterbalance the back weight a little bit and just kind of distribute everything a little bit better. And thus far, I've been doing pretty good with them. Not to where I was with my other darts yet, but it's a difference in weight, size. But when I am hitting, I'm throwing level darts, and that was one thing with my old set that I was not doing consistently. I tended to always have a bit of an up tilt, and one thing I really wanted to do was get a level hitting dart. So if anybody else is a dart player, has any tips on differences in throwing with hammerheads, please let me know. Use my eBay bucks, a little bit of my eBay bucks, to pick up a couple of these rubber bracelets, Team Rousey, Armbar Nation. It was like $5 shipped for two of them, so figured pretty good. Been wearing them out a little bit. People asking me about them. Good segue into the MMA stuff. Got, I think this was a number of these I ended up buying on eBay off of guys off Combat Cardboard and didn't even realize it at the time. So the first one here, I've been looking to pick up an auto of his, and I think they finally bottomed out in price to the point where I was going to pick them up. From 2010 Leaf, one of the base autos. The whole set is stickers of Roy Big Country Nelson. That was off of telis22. Let's see what I'm saying. I was also trying to negotiate with him on an Eddie Alvarez ahead of the pay-per-view for Bellator, but couldn't get a deal done on that. We'll see how that goes. I may yet pull the trigger on one. And next up, for the Donald Cerrone PC, this card had been listed a few times actually, and I was patient and I got to the number that I wanted. But the eBay seller actually included some extras here, some Bloodlines base of Darren Elkins, Stipe Miocic, and Sarah McMahon. A Henan Barao green out of 188. Chris Weidman octagon side insert. And the card I won, the 2013 Finest Octofractor 2 of 8. This is the matte relic. Finest Fight Matte Jumbo Relic, 2-color Cowboy Cerrone. You have the great comeback win Saturday night. Got rocked before Goldberg was done reading the intro for who was sponsoring the ring clock. And he got clocked, and Barboza had him staggered a little bit. Persevered through it, clipped him with a jab, and ended up submitting him, rear naked choke. he tried to say after the fight, no, I wasn't going to go for any kind of submissions or anything like that, but when the opportunity presents itself, I guess that's what you do. You know, that is the hurt game. Also for the Cowboys Cerrone PC, this one came up on a best offer. Oh, just following up on that last video I made. So, the whole roof thing is kind of being taken care of by the insurance. So, I'm not as hard up as I thought I was when I made the video. So, seems like it's all working itself out. So, we got really lucky on this one. Back to the cards. This one's from snyeguy, on Combat Cardboard and YouTube and social media, I believe. He threw in an extra. I don't know if he realized it was me or just throws in extras, but the extra is a Finest Threads Kenny Florian matte card. And the card I purchased off him was a 2012 Donald Cerrone Finest Octafractor Base Parallel 2 of 8. So, getting a series of Octos recently. And lastly, there's a thread put up by one of the mods and principal folks on Combat Cardboard that he had some stuff for sale, and considering all he does for us with the fantasy leagues and running all the group breaks, I figured FightHobby was a guy worth supporting. We came to an agreement on this card, very reasonable. A guy who I'd wanted an autograph of for a little while, and finally again waited till it came down a bit, just out of the sheer population of him signing. 2013 Bloodlines. It is a sticker auto. Rory McDonald. I wonder now with GSP out of the picture if he's going to really try to make a push for some kind of title shot or something like that. Because there was always that speculation that he didn't want to fight GSP. And that's why they seemed to conveniently get injured and whatever else. And there were more credible contenders in that weight class that they couldn't keep passing over repeatedly. So, versus like the Rashad John Jones issue from a couple of years ago where Dana said, oh, you guys will fight. This will happen. Moving on to the Colts PC. A couple of National Treasures pickups from this year's release. 6 out of 99, a Reggie Wayne base. And 83 of 99, Andrew Luck. Out of 5, 2007 Absolute Tools of the Trade Jumbo Reggie Wayne 2-color patch. Numbering there, 205. Got a couple of book cards. This is actually how this one was shipped. Between 2 dummy cards. No sleeves, no top loaders, no rigid box like this one. Just big team bag, and this was it. So I ding this guy 1 star because it did get here right on the outskirts of how long it said it should have, but it's not noticeably damaged, but I imagine that the surface, especially on the inside, is kind of scuffed up a little bit. It's a 2012 Upper Deck Exquisite 47 of 50 dual jersey, dual auto Stephen Hill and Dwayne Allen. Ironically, I got the alert that I had won this while I was in Walmart. And I happened to be walking by, like, the blaster section and all, and I won this for $10.10 shipped. And I looked at a blaster and I said, I would rather have a booklet card like this for $10 than a blaster. I know people have had some pretty big retail scores over the years, but a little more of a sure thing when you can get a PC booklet out of a high-end release than I'm taking that long shot gamble. But to each his own. That's some people have to buy wax at some point, and it's fun to crack. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a secondary market. But also a booklet card, 2012 National Treasures. This is the other rookie from that class, Kobe Fleener, on card, auto, and jumbo patch. There's the front with the numbering there. Don't know if you can hear in the background my neighbor's dog going nuts. He actually got loose and ran into the road last night, so they were a little bit of a scare there. But my neighbor now at this house, which is a deep residential area, is keeping 5 chickens in a coop in his backyard. Not sure if that's legal. I imagine there's something about roosters that you can't do. But yeah. So all of a sudden we've got chickens next door, which of course we're downwind of part of the day, and is driving our cat completely insane. And finally, this gem, I can't believe I landed it. I know, and I forget the ID, I don't believe he's on YouTube, but when I wrote the Colts article years ago for the Panini blog, there was a gentleman that stepped forward who was a big Raymond Berry collector, and it was at that point that I realized I didn't have any Raymond Berry 1-of-1s. Since then, I believe I've gotten at least 1 plate, and I think a cut auto as well. But I was pretty surprised to actually land this, because I thought this would be one of those go balls out to get it kind of cards for him, and I wasn't going to exceed my budget on this card. The number that when I looked at it, I said, this is what I think the card is worth, and I actually got it. 2011 Gold Standard Raymond Berry. It is a sticker, auto. But it is the 1-of-1. I think it's a stellar looking card. The juxtaposition of the black and white photography with all the gold shine in the background, I think it's a nice effect in the Baltimore uniform there. So, big score there. Big score. Could not be happier with that purchase. On to some Hudson stuff. Quick buy it now. This was $8 shipped. I remember paying a lot more than that for one of these that was, I think, dinged. 11 out of 50, 2009 Upper Deck Baseball Signature Stars. I have missed the last 3 Tim Hudson 1-of-1s that have all gone for buy it nows that I gladly would have paid. So, a little annoyed about that, but I've been remiss in getting this information out there. This eBay seller did such a great job with me on negotiating a fair price. Jim, I appreciate it. A link will be in the description box for this eBay seller. He has a number of very nice absolute stuff from this loaded 2005 absolute memorabilia set. If you're a baseball collector and collect any player or team from this era, you need to know about this set. He's also got some 04 stuff, including some Hall of Fame auto mem cards. I mean, just some really sick stuff, some really nice low-numbered prime stuff. He had an A-Rod 1-of-1 that went before I get this video up. It's JSH3, so like the name Josh without the O. Link will be in the description box for him. Got a jumbo 3-color massive stitching number 12 out of 50 patch of Tim Hudson. And again, this is one of those sets that I believe was right at the end of Donruss's run. It was this and the Diamond Kings update set where they just started putting a bunch of different 101s and everything else. Some of the nicest cards of that era came out of these sets because they knew that they were just basically emptying the vault at that point after they had lost the license and it seemed like they were going to be, and they did go bankrupt, and then Panini ended up buying them. But this is one of those legacy sets that I really hope at some point Panini gets the license back and can try to, and I think they're going to have a hard time doing it in today's market. But if they can produce cards like this in this set, I mean that's such a great product, such a great product. And I remember even back, you know, trying to do group breaks in '08, which is just 3 years removed, not being able to find this stuff for any kind of reasonable price. So that shows you how quickly this stuff disappeared when word got out that people were pulling, I mean, some of the legendary stuff out of that product. So James JSH3, I appreciate it, sir. I'll be sure to send you a message, and again, a heartfelt apology for how long it took me to get this. Your package came in right after the last video, and it's just taken a little while for me to accrue some stuff and do a video here. And finally, I mentioned this back in December. I'd gone to see Bruins Fan 94, Brian, in his senior production of It's a Wonderful Life, and I showed the program. Well, because I know he's a star in the making, there is the inscribed autograph. I met up with Brian, and we had lunch, and just kind of caught up a little bit, and I gave him his Christmas / thanks for helping me move some stuff, because he came over the night we moved into the house and helped me carry the card boxes in, and then jumped right in the assembly line to unpack the truck too, which I didn't necessarily want him to do, but that's not why I brought him there. I was just having to have him help with the cards, but he just jumped right in and got it done. So Brian, you're the man. I appreciate it. Good. He's got some more acting stuff coming up, so I don't know that I want to thoroughly embarrass him by trying to record some of it and showing you guys, but I imagine if he wants it recorded that he'll put it out there. So I want to thank Bruins Fan 94, Brian, JSH3 from eBay, FightHobby, John, snyeguy, telis22, the Combat Cardboard Crew. Definitely, if you're an MMA fan, watch the next video. Even if you're not, still some cool stuff. So we'll see what we can do. All right, YouTube, peace.